as it is CrunCher versus Rhett. CrunCher has he's been struggling to find that first victory here in the NASL, and I feel like if I could be so bold, I'm going to say that he's going to continue that struggle, because I don't think he's going to beat Rhett today.
No, I don't think so either. CrunCher is, of course, our American orange Protoss on the right top side of this map, and Liquid Red is our red Zerg on the right bottom side of this map. Even though Red has been struggling a little bit lately against certain 2-base all-ins of Protoss, of course, a lot of Zergs are struggling against it, because Protoss does have some very strong all-ins available. But then again, I just think that Red is of another level right now of CrunCher. I do think that CrunCher, the more he's going to practice, the better he's going to get again, but I do not think right now that he's capable of going head-to-head against one of the best Zergs in Europe. So my prediction for this series is, Ben, that I think that Liquid Red is going to take it.
Rhett is one of the top Zergs in Europe. There's really no doubt about it. He recently did pretty well at Takes event. He was he top 4?
Yeah, top 4, that is correct.
Which and that was basically all the best players in Europe duking it out amongst themselves. So
yeah, I think you can say 31 best players of Europe and 1 god.
The 31 best players and their creator.
Yes. That's kind of how that tournament felt. If you guys haven't seen the VODs of Take TV's Reloaded tournament, you should definitely check them out, because it was a very fun tournament. A lot of player casting as well, Grubby casting, Red casting, Red's girlfriend casting.
So what?
Yeah.
I didn't see this.
Yes, he casted. She was pretty good, man. And see, even like one time there was an argument with Red and his girlfriend, and Red is like, ah, he's going Broodlords, and his girlfriend like, nah, I think he's going Ultralisk. Red's like, nah, it's going to be Broodlords, and then he went Ultralisk. Red's girlfriend looked really smart.
Oh man, smarter than Yost.
So no, that was really fun, awesome tournament, and it was really exciting. Basically every single match was exciting that Stefano was not in. The games that Stefano was in were a little bit more one-sided.
Man, I would be so annoyed if I was casting with my girlfriend and I was like, looks like Broodlords to me, and she's like, nope, Ultras.
Yeah. It's like, oh.
I would just be like,
Well, it was really fun. It was an awesome tournament, so mad props once more to Dennis T. Galen, the man behind the Home Story Cups. Such an awesome guy. Deserves all the love.
The man, that is pretty much the title that he deserves, because he is the man. Much love, Take. I don't know if you watch our NASL broadcast, but I hope you do, because you're awesome.
Even if he doesn't, Ben, as long as we say it, eventually one day it will arrive. The message will arrive to him.
Good.
And he will receive all the love that we're giving him.
It better. It better get there.
Red went for the standout 14 pool, 16 hedge, while CrunCher went for Forge Cannon Nexus, which surprised me a little bit, because I think he could have gone away with Forge Nexus Cannon, or even Nexus first, and then still drop the cannon.
Oh, wow, yeah.
CrunCher is rather safe than sorry.
Why is he playing so safe? Against Red, of all people. He has never 6-pooled in his life.
Never say never, Ben.
Yeah. Actually, Rhett's a great tournament player, and he's not afraid to mix in a cheese here or there. So I shouldn't say that, but that is an overly safe opening, given what he's up against here, as Rhett's economy is just going to be great. CrunCher's Nexus still hasn't completed because he took that extra time to put that cannon down.
For the people who wonder or do not watch every single broadcast of us, shame on you, but CrunCher is currently ranked 7 in his division. He has 1 win and 2 losses. Red is in 3rd place with 2 wins and 1 losses. His loss, however, was still pretty surprisingly against Lowly, the man that we are going to see in action in our next best of 3. Who's surprisingly leading this division after 3 weeks.
Man, I cannot wait to cast Lowly. We were talking a lot about him before the broadcast started.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's just been beasting it up, man. Lowly, like the guy nobody knows anything about. He's just like hidden in Belarus.
Well, I know quite a bit about Lowly actually, because I played a lot against him back in the days when I was still living in Europe. I was playing a lot of ladder. He's one of those guys that you often meet at ladder. And yeah, he's pretty good in online tournaments. And well, the reason why, we're going to shine some light on that later.
Absolutely, you are correct. Right now, Rhett just chasing the probe of CrunCher around his 3rd base there. Wants to make sure that no pylons or anything like that goes down. That can often spell doom for Zerg players if pylons go up unchecked. It seems like I lose too many games to things like that.
Yeah, no, it's super important. Doesn't matter what you face. If you would face 3 or 4 gate pressure, it's so incredibly important that you snipe probes and pylons, and that you don't have pylons close to your base. Fortunately for Red, that doesn't seem to be the case. We see a Stargate on the right top side of CrunCher's main base. But even then, if Red just wants to take out these rocks and then make a hatch, CrunCher still bought himself a little bit of time. Time that could very well mean that Void Rays can be a lot more effective than they normally are, because it would just take a little bit longer for Creep to actually connect to this base, and perhaps additional queens to pop out as well. But actually it's just going to be a Phoenix opening, so CrunCher is not going with the Void Ray, which is something I don't mind at all, because I feel that Void Rays are very good in general against, like for defense, if you're in the dark and you're worried about a big roach attack perhaps, then it's very nice to open up with 1 Void Ray. But if you do not delay the 3rd base by an insane amount of time, or it's just really, really hard to connect two bases, like for instance on Ohana, then I think just opening Phoenixes is better. So
yeah,
I like what CrunCher is doing.
And I like it a lot on Tal'Darim Ultra as well, because this is a map where Zerg players love to play Muta, Kev. And I think we're going to be seeing some Muta out of Red here as he's gone for a very fast layer. Yes, Spire starting right this second. So it is going to be some sort of Mutalisk play. And having that Phoenix out is going to give that extra bit of control to CrunCher. It's also noteworthy, CrunCher's changing up his play from what we saw out of him against Idra. He went for the same Sentry drop into Robo play 3 games in a row against Idra, and now he's opening Stargate. It could just be because of the map, but maybe he's maybe after that series he decided that he needed to make some changes.
Yeah, maybe that. And I love that he's waiting with Phoenixes as well. Perhaps he just has a really good idea of how Red loves to play, but he's going for it right now. Imagine how painful it is if Red would have just made 7 or 8 Mutalisks and then all these Phoenixes show up. What I think that Red is going to do right now is just open up with a few Corruptors. Then he still might play a Mutalisk, because I really think Corruptor Muta can actually deal pretty fine with 1 Stargate Protoss. Certainly when Protoss is stuck on 2 bases, and Zerg has a very strong 3-base economy. But I think in the start all we're going to see is a couple of Corruptors and Red just drone up like a madman.
Oh man, this is such a sneaky opening. Red didn't even have an Evo chamber down. He was really trying to cut corners, trying to go straight to Spire with nothing else out on the map, and he's getting punished for it pretty badly here.
We have 3 Queens. He could potentially kill them, but it's a little bit risky and he doesn't want to take the risk. What is Red going to make? Spire did just finish. All his Overlords are so extremely exposed.
CrunCher really being kind of slow about how he goes about this Phoenix Raz. Now he's finally going to get 1 more Overlord kill before Ret chases him away. 1 Mutalisk in production for Ret. I don't think that's going to do too well.
It's a very sad Muta as well, because that Muta is obviously going to die instantly. Phoenix is extremely good against Mutalisk, and so far really, really good opening for CrunCher.
Yeah, even going to pick up some drones. Wow. A couple more Overlords popping out, but speed's done, so it's going to be much harder for these Phoenixes to get any Overlord kills. They will be able to pick off a Mutalisk though.
Yep, there is a Mutalisk.
And yeah, so Phoenix is just kind of flying around doing their thing. And what else can we say, Kev?
Picking up more and more drones. So far, everything is really good for CrunCher. I'm so surprised that Red tried to get out of the Mutalisk first rather than Corruptors. That makes actually no sense to me, because even with just 2 or 3 Corruptors are really fine. This Phoenix ball just keeps growing. And Red really is going to have to find an answer to this somehow. Look how many Overlords there are exposed. He could actually just pick up Queens now, right now as well. Wow, Red really went greedy on the Spore Crawlers even after that Evolution Chamber finished. Yeah. And Red is in a world of trouble right now. Look at the unit's lost resource step, man. That's insane.
It's crazy, and this is what Phoenix openings can do sometime if a Zerg player underreacts to them. And that's exactly what Red did. He just kind of took it for granted. And now he's kind of got his back against the wall. He's having to make so many Spore Crawlers. He has been adding tons and tons of drones. His economy is still, you know, great. Yeah. It's 63 drones to 53 probes, 3 base to 2. But
will he ever be able to get a real army out when CrunCher is deciding to move out? CrunCher, he has 1 Zealot working on Destructible Rocks, but that's literally it. So I think he's going to follow this up with a big 2-base play. He has a little bit of money saved up. Now he's going to wipe in more Zealots. I think CrunCher would be silly not trying to win this on 2-base. Well, that's me.
I think a 2-base push would be really smart, Kev. I agree with you, but it looks like he's pretty content on taking a 3rd.
There are still so many Overlords, quite exposed for Red, and now this Queen is a little bit exposed as well. He's going to end up losing this Queen. How many Queens we have left? Only 2 Queens right now for 3 hatcheries. And look at these Overlords, man. By the time that these 4 Overlords make it back to this Spore Crawler, 3 of them are dead.
This game is so silly. CrunCher has seen that Red is only making drones. I really don't understand why he doesn't want to put on any additional gateway pressure.
Look at this unit's lost resource step. That's insane. How often will you see this? CrunCher against Red. Red lost 2,300 resources. CrunCher lost 50.
Well, that's I wasn't expecting it either. Finally, CrunCher's starting to warp in a few more units. He's adding some gateways. Hasn't built that 3rd just yet, but a little bit of a Zergling run by. But CrunCher's on top of it, man. He drops the force field, blocks them all out. And
what is happening right now, man? CrunCher killed 37 units of Red. Red killed 1 probe.
Red's finally got some Infestors on the way, and Infestors are a really good answer to the Phoenixes.
Yeah, they are perfect. We might actually see that Fungal of Doom. That was actually what I was expecting, but he took so much damage that it just took quite a while before him to actually stabilize. Now finally he has a lot of Spore Crawlers. CrunCher did spot the the Infestation Pit, sorry, and he also saw that it was morphing just a little bit, so he should know that Vanishing Lens is being researched, and this should be the moment that CrunCher is going to have to be really careful with his Phoenix. Yeah,
you would think so. He's spread them out a little bit, just putting him out, I guess just using him as scouts at this point in the game. Red's up to 90 drones, by the way, Kev. I don't know if you had, had caught that or not.
I did not know it was 90.
It's many drones on the map for Red right now. But that's kind of the thing. You nailed it when you said CrunCher should just try to end it on 2 bases. Now it's 3 base to 3 base, or I mean, Red's taking a 4th even.
Yeah, like, okay, you killed a ton of units right now with your Phoenix, but what does it really matter? And now actually Red is going to start making Mutalisk again. Oh, here comes his fastest first fungal lands. Well, he should be able to kill these 3 Phoenixes.
No, I kind of like the way that CrunCher's just doing this with a handful of Phoenixes. He's still going to lose 3 Phoenixes. 3 Phoenixes for or 2 Phoenixes for a single infestor is not a
wow,
not a
19 Mutalisk at once for Red. That's insane.
Phoenix count right now is 9, though, and I think 9 Phoenixes are still okay.
No, I think it's really hard to play with Phoenix when there are also infestors on the map. Then you can really only use those Phoenixes defensive, and you shouldn't forget about the upgrades as well, Ben.
That's true.
He's going to have 1-2 upgrades on these Mutalisks, and in this way that Red is playing this, he's actually going to be able to deal with all these Phoenixes pretty easily. Ooh, here come all the Mutalisks, and now CrunCher knows what's up.
1, 2, and now there are 5 Phoenixes on the map, and that's gonna be a more difficult task for CrunCher.
And now you're sitting here with Colossus as well. He does have quite a few Blink Stalkers. The upgrades are 2-0, but this is a really big Mutaflock.
It's a huge Mutaball, and there's the big offensive blink from CrunCher. Tries to pick off a couple of units that may have killed 2 there, but
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
nothing can hurt Red anymore.
It really doesn't. He's got the ultimate economy. He's basically maxed out. He's going to be at 2-2 on these mutas momentarily.
He has 96 drones.
Yeah, I know.
That's almost ridiculous. Just killing probes right now. You can actually trade 1 muta for a probe, and he'll be fine with that. That's sort of cost efficient for him.
CrunCher does still have a large army. He's at 140 supply. He's going to be able to max out sooner or later. And I sort of feel like this is inevitably going to evolve into a base trade. Because it's just, I mean, this is just what the armies look like.
I think it's going to take a long time before CrunCher even to max out. And yeah, and you're right, of course. Red can always base trade. He has so much money right now. If I was Red, I would already start building 4 hatches on the left side of the map.
Yeah.
What's stopping you?
Hey, and this is a perfect opportunity for me to plug the thing that I like almost as much as Reapers. That's Muta with Nidus.
I think you might like this more, Ben. If this was Metropolis, you would say you like it more than Reaper Expand.
Man, it's the most OP thing in the world on Metropolis. But really, I don't understand, man. Nidus is such a good supplement to Mutalisk. We can see that Red has basically infinite money. I don't understand why he wouldn't do that. A Nidus exit does count as a building, so in a base race situation, you can just build those all around the place. And it means that you pretty much never lose your drones.
No, you're right. Like, the moment that CrunCher ever wants to attack, Red is just going to fly in with all the Mutalisk, and he's going to force the wheel base trade straight away. Unless CrunCher eventually... Oh, he's getting a lot of High Templars right now. He's researching Storm, so maybe he wants to secure 4 bases. But then I do not really even want to think about the Bank of Red, because that's going to be absolutely insane.
That was a suicidal stalker, man. Just jumped forward into the Zerglings. Good positioning by CrunCher, though.
He knew what was coming, though. He just wanted to be ahead of his time.
A lot of Zerglings going to go down here, and now CrunCher is going to blink up underneath these mutas. Gets a few pretty good kills, but Red has no issues with just rebuilding all of them. I'm surprised that he hasn't gotten his hive yet, as that infestation pit is done.
Red should really get more hatches right now, Ben. Red has been playing pretty well, despite his start where he took so much damage from those Phoenixes. I love how he read the game. Certainly when he, I'm not even sure if he scouted that CrunCher was working on those rocks. I think he scouted with 1 Ling when there was only 1 Zealot. He had the Overlord there, by the way. So maybe that's why. And he's been playing it pretty well since then. But right now, there's absolutely no excuse for Red to not be expanding all around the map.
Yep, I agree. He should have a hatch at every possible expansion. There's nothing that CrunCher can really do to deny it. Especially after losing those Phoenixes, losing his ability to see around the map. Red's got great vision of everything.
Yeah, look at it if you're CrunCher right now, by the way, guys. This is like nightmare scenario for Protoss. All you see are your 3 bases. And you know that there's this really big Mutaball somewhere. So just floating around your bases, man. It can hit you. It's basically like this kick in the balls thing. On any random moment. Any random moment you leave.
or any random moment when you're out of position like this one, as about 45 mutas fly into the main base of CrunCher.
This is stupid.
They're going to kill a couple of cannons and then float right out. Honestly, they could go to the 3rd base and do some good damage. There's only 2 High Templar there.
Wow, Red's just going to fight this ball right now, but there are so many Stalkers. There are a couple of Archons as well. He did pick off a lot of Stalkers, and yeah, after all, he can trade because he's earning way more money than CrunCher does.
Wow, he can kill everything here, Kevin. He's going to kill all the Stalkers. The mutas are just going to fight the army straight up and win. The upgrades, of course, making a really big impact. And I am a little bit surprised to see the fight go this way, but finally a storm goes down, but doesn't really do that much damage. And finally, Rhett is going to back out of there.
Red, meanwhile, is expanding right now on the left top and left bottom side of this map as well, and he's still just making more and more middles. Nice storm right there by CrunCher. That's just the only real way to actually deal with this insane group of middlers. But Red already has his backup army ready in his main base. He has a lot of spine crawlers as well. He's just slowly picking apart CrunCher. Yeah,
and with hatcheries in the corners of the map, there's really, I mean, CrunCher just lost all his stalkers, so he can't even, like, mutas alone are going to be a real task for this army to deal with, much less the spine crawlers and the infestors.
Ooh. Nice blink. Almost picks up a middle. Well, stalkers do so little damage right now against mutas with those upgrades, despite these stalkers being 3-1.
Yeah, 2-2's pretty good, Kev. It's awesome.
Bailing as being morphed in for Red now as well. How many Zerglings does he have on the map? 77. So just imagine if he would roll in with 77 Banelings. He doesn't really have to guess for that though. Hypothetically speaking.
Oh, he's got gas for quite a few. Mutas are going to fly right to the main.
Beautiful fungal band.
Ooh, Red, if you
all
the zealots.
Only land that 2 more times.
Yep, mutas are just going to lay waste to this natural. Nice storms by CrunCher though. Wow, really good storms by CrunCher. He's taken a lot of damage from the storm and from the cannons and from the Archon that was there. He still has enough to clean this up, but you know, those mutas are looking less and less formidable in a fight, Kev.
One more High Templar coming in, letting a pretty decent storm. Not sure how many. Damn it.
Maybe got 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's
another High Templar is going to come take a shot. These mutas pretty stacked. Rhett might not be watching right now. Storm goes down, and wow, 5 mutas died. And now this Warpin might be able to actually deal with this.
Yeah,
oh, not with Zerglings.
Zerglings were coming in as well. He's going to try to blink into safety. He has quite a few cannons over here. This base is still safe, so he has something to fall back on. But the problem is he's going to lose all his production facilities, and that's a pretty big problem in a base race.
CrunCher just can't decide what he wants to do with this army at Rhett's front. He's like just kind of walking in and out. He is going to go for it, I suppose. Storm not that good against spine crawlers. High Templar up in front taking some damage. I don't know what they're trying to storm, Kev. There's not anything there.
A couple of Zerglings and an infestor.
But really the Spine's holding up pretty well. They've killed a lot of units. Every single Zealot is dead. Just a handful of Stalkers, Immortals, and that one Colossus is left. Also some High Templar.
That's storms. Those storms.
Well, actually those storms work out to be okay. All the Zerglings melting away. Really bizarre game. CrunCher dipping all the way down to 80 supply. Rhett's still at 150 though. And again, he's got these expansions are all around the map, so it's like no matter what CrunCher does, Rhett's still, you know, he's still alive.
CrunCher has 23 probes left right now, which is, well, obviously pretty low, but since he's only mining from 1 base, it's almost okay if he would go up to 35. He basically just has a 1 base economy. This is a fight that, well, okay, reinforcements are coming in from the back as well, though I guess Red is just going to clean up right now.
Yeah, that's going to be it.
Only 74 supply left for CrunCher.
And he's going to tap out. GG comes from CrunCher, and Rhett will take game number 1. Strange back and forth action there, Kev. I honestly, I mean, you said it very, very well when you said, I don't understand why CrunCher doesn't try to win on 2 bases. He should have. Like, during all that Phoenix harass, he was doing so much damage, and all Rhett was doing the whole time?
Was droning.
Droning. And if CrunCher just pushed, if he just pushed with 8 Zealots, that would have been...
Yeah, not even 8 Zealots. I mean, he already had the robotics facility in his main base. So basically, like, Phoenix had a really nice opening for you to transition into Colossus, because most of the ways that people enter to Phoenix arrest is like either Infestors or Hydralisk even, while Red was not going Hydralisk in this case, and there was a Spy already, but still, it opened sort of a nice window for Colossus. If you push with 2 Colossus and the rest is Stalkers, if CrunCher would push with 135, 145 supply, Red is going to have maybe 160 supply, of which 90 supply is drones. And there's absolutely no way he's going to be able to deal with that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Instead, CrunCher just sort of allowed Ret to drone up, and then Ret was able to make so many mutas. And when that happens, this happens. Mutas fly in, and 44 mutas against 27 stalkers. The mutas actually trading incredibly cost-effectively here. They're spread out enough that the Archons aren't really splashing.
Those 1-2 upgrades, man.
Yeah. And I didn't think the fight was going to be this close, but Red just dominates.
Big problem is that the Archon wasn't able to fight either.
Yeah, stuck in the back. And when he did get shots off, it was only on single mutas. So very very well played. I'm going to say this, very well played by Ret, but CrunCher allowed him to do that. Like CrunCher.
I mean, this was a nightmare scenario for Red. This was like the worst possible option. He didn't prepare for Phoenix. I think he prepared for gateway pressure or just anything else, since he did have a few spine crawlers traded, but he had absolutely zero anti-air. That's Phoenix paradise. Then you know you will hurt the Zerg economy if you follow it up with 2 Colossus, because that's all you need to deal with Zerglings, and the rest is Stalkers, because Stalkers are pretty good against every unit that Zerg has. You'll be more than fine. Why would you allow Zerg to go? If you killed that much, he killed 3,700 and all he lost is a probe. Then you can literally all in 5 different ways and you'll be fine. If you would have made mass charge lots, he would have been fine.
Yeah, I mean, he had infinity options. Instead, he chose to take a third base, and it turned out to be the wrong choice.
You know what it reminded me of a little bit? Of Rain against Sen, when Rain just killed like 35 drones, and then he plays like the most defensive TVZ ever, where he goes mech 3 base. So Sen is like, okay, I lost 30 drones, let me just remake 50 drones, and I'm still ahead, and eventually I steamroll you.
You're right.